Just to finish up, is the supply chain going to be the same in 2050 as it is now? No, because if you look at where demand for that aquatic protein is coming from, the darker the colour here, the more protein they're going to be needing over the next number of years. So if you look at countries like Central Africa and China and some parts of Latin America, their demand is going up by about 50% per person over that period of time. So what they currently produce and make, they're going to be increasingly wanting to keep it and eat it themselves. That's the idea. Next slide. Given that fact already, double production by 2050. And just to finish off, the future supply chain, as we know, we import from many of these countries into the UK and to Europe at the moment that are needing those foods in the future. So the take-home message is, what will the supply chain look like in 2050? It won't look like it does now. We won't be able to rely on £3 bags of tiger prawns from China. Very unlikely, I think. Next slide. So the big food security challenges, and these are sort of CEFAS level ones now, so I'll just kind of let you know what we've been thinking about. Just some big challenges for the UK population, I guess. Will we start eating our own aquatic produce? Will we eat nephrops? Will we eat mackerel? Will we eat other species we can catch? Or will we keep importing and relying on that type of importation? And just to let you know, UK shellfish landings are sort of around about 300 million per annum. And I live in Weymouth, and it's really hard to buy live crab in Weymouth. You can buy tiger ones very easily, but you can't buy these very easily. So most of this is going out, Portugal and Spain and so on. Next slide. Or will we retain consumption by just relying on these imports? So at the moment we import huge amounts of shrimp for instance into the UK and into Europe, around 700,000 tonnes a year, 2-3 billion pounds worth of imports. Will that keep happening in the next number of years, or will it change? Next slide. If we think that aquaculture is going to be important, what is the optimal balance between the fisheries culture that we've got in the UK and this look forward to an aquaculture world? So what's the optimal balance between sort of national marine conservation, if you like, MPAs, MTZs, that kind of thing, and food production? And there's some good examples already. This is John Holmyard's farm in Lyme Bay, where he's placed it quite near to this sort of conservation zone within Lyme Bay, and has caused a lot of I don't know, debate, I guess, about how that's been allowed to happen. And just to give you a fact, John's proposal is to produce 10,000 tonnes, that's half of the UK production of mussels, in what is essentially a 15-kilometre array of farms in a small area. So in agriculture, we would call that the spare or share approach. Should you share this all over the place, or should you spare areas and just concentrate agriculture in certain areas? Again, things to think about. Final one. I thought I'd bring Carly in here for the picture. And I think the really important bit going into the two talks we're going to hear is then what is the optimal balance then between fisheries and aquaculture? There will have to be a balance. Aquaculture will have to increase within the UK if we're going to sustain production. But what's the optimal balance? How do you convince a fisherman to use some of his infrastructure to actually go and service a fish farm or a mussel farm rather than go and catching animals from the sea? That kind of thing is going to be important. And what is important though is that the coastal infrastructures that we've got, like harbours and boats and people, which are based on legacy fishing industries, are actually very likely to be quite well suited to be adapting to an aquaculture scenario where they're going out and servicing farms instead of catching things. And that's my final bit. So that's the last slide. So that's it. I think we'll go